Hey everybody, Nubkeks here and welcome to a Warcraft 3 Reforged video. Getting prepared for a Warcraft 3 Reforged streams during the upcoming week, checking out the beta and all the different races. I thought it'd be fun to dive in and do a reaction video. We're going full Asmongold for the units in Warcraft 3 Reforged. Today we're looking at the Undead units, and this video is by Lace TV. We're starting off with the Acolyte, who looks absolutely incredible. I love that he's holding his little dagger instead of being strapped to his chest. And yeah, just an overall, still looks like very much the same unit, just higher fidelity, fancier shoulders. I like the little straps hanging down the back of the shoulders. And I like the uses of color. You still have the overwhelming dark cloak with the little extra red trim around the bottom and the red shoulders. I think it looks fantastic, actually. He looks fancier. I think that's awesome. All right, we have the Shade next, your sort of stealthed scouting unit. He's pretty buff. I have to say, I get a real like Venom vibe from Spider-Man from the new Shade here on the right-hand side. I think he looks pretty cool. I mean, the spikes in his shoulders and the spikes in his back are a lot more noticeable. They kind of just blended in with the previous Shade. I think it looked pretty good. The Ghoul here, this is a very big change, actually. One of the biggest changes. Compared to the old Ghoul, is the way that he stands with his arms hanging down compared to the arms being forwards. That gives it a very different feel to the unit. I actually like the tongue hanging out of the face. I think that looks fantastic. And obviously the quality of the unit is good. You can see again, and this is something of concern perhaps, the attack animation is very different. So the Ghoul just physically looks very different in-game, which might be a big concern for players. Compared to this, actually, the Abomination, which actually just, it looks like it's the same unit, but just much higher quality unit. Just everything is reproduced in better graphics. I think it's fantastic. Maybe the hook, it looks like it's on like an elastic band or something. It looks a little bit weird. It'd be nice to get a chain texture for that hook that he's holding onto, because it's chains around his arm and it turns into, it looks very elastic. So hopefully we can see that improve, but he looks great. This is the Meat Wagon. And the Meat Wagon looks pretty damn fancy as well. It looks nice. I feel like the coffin in the Meat Wagon is much less noticeable on the new one than the old one. It definitely stood out on the old one. I feel like maybe it's a little too small on the newer one. It's not that noticeable, but other than that, again, it's a fairly faithful reproduction. The attack animation looks good. The death animation looks great. Again, very similar, but just higher fidelity. Again, we have interesting how they changed up the Ghoul and the Crypt Fiend. Kind of the basic melee unit, the basic ranged unit. So the Crypt Fiend has 3 legs per side now instead of 2 per side, and they're much more splayed out. It looks a lot more like a spider. It's an interesting change. I actually quite like it. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty damn good. He throws out little spiders. You can see them sort of circling under the other Crypt Fiend. And I love the hairy body and the little kind of spikes coming out of it, the tendrils. I think that looks fantastic, so I'm a pretty big fan. Okay, here we have the Gargoyle, the flying unit, one of the flying units for the Undead. Obviously the one on the right, the newer one, looks a lot more realistic. I kind of prefer the colors and what they did on the left one. The left one stands out a lot more with the black wings with the red bone structure compared to just sort of the gray bone structure with the red wings. He's a lot less dramatic in terms of his color. Kind of feels less scary and less, a bit slower, not as scary. So I don't know about that one, though. I like the realism of it. Here we have the Banshee, and she looks incredible. I really like what they've done here, actually, with just the pure red cloak, and I presume that will change with whatever team colors you are running. But again, this just looks like just a fairly faithful reproduction. They ditched sort of the red rune stuff on her robes and just went with the red cloak instead, and then plainer robes down the bottom. And the robes look incredible. The belt looks great. Her hair, again, has the same vibe, but it's just a little bit higher resolution, and I really like that unit. This unit looks incredible as well, the Necromancer. I really like, again, these tassels, sort of runic tassels. I'm not sure what the proper name for them is, but coming down off his shoulders, I think they look absolutely great. And again, we have much the same theme. We got the big white beard, we got the red robes, look cool. His staff, the new staff, looks amazing. One thing maybe is his horns are very dark. I'm not sure why. I kind of prefer the lighter horns on the old unit. It kind of gave it that stark profile of white beard, red robes, and kind of bone-colored horns. But there you go. This is the Obsidian statue, and wow, this one looks a lot better. Very clumsy, very basic, primitive, let's say, textures on the old statue. This statue is very clean. It looks like Anubis. It's got a very clear Egyptian vibe to it, and it looks fantastic. I like his little paws or legs leaning over the front of the statue. Look phenomenal compared to the old one. It doesn't seem to have a death animation, actually, which is a bit of a bummer. But there you are. All right, now we have the Frostworm. So the ultimate flying unit for the Undead. One thing that I actually don't like about this is what they've done with the colors. So with the old Frostworm, you had kind of the purple wings and then a purple line going down his tail, giving him a very strong profile. This new Frostworm, he just has the red wings, but no vertical line. And with his animations as well, it feels like he's hanging down a lot more in the air, kind of struggling to get up, whereas the old one was a lot more flat. I actually prefer the older Frostworm in terms of design to the new one. One of the most controversial additions, the female Death Knight. I believe that it will be probably, hopefully, optional skin, but I think it's awesome new skin for the Death Knight. For multiplayer, of course, compared to the old Arthas base model. It looks pretty incredible. One concern I do have is her cape is very dark and doesn't really stand out at all compared to the old cape on the Death Knight, which was very colorful and kind of flew behind him and was very noticeable. So maybe they could look at the cape a little bit. This is the actual Arthas model. It appears to be lagging a little bit, so I guess it's probably not fully implemented. But that looks fantastic. The cape here is much darker and bigger, so that does stand out a bit more compared to the pauldrons and the whiter hair there. So I think the cape on that one looks better. The Arthas model looks pretty incredible, to be honest. Looks pretty incredible. Maybe his face is a little hard to see, but that's just kind of the way it is. It kind of had a weird pushback hair in the old one. This hair is probably a bit more realistic. The Lich got a very big redesign, which I think is pretty interesting. He doesn't have the sort of back cap thing going, that sort of profile, very iconic profile that the old Lich did have. I'm not sure why they got rid of it. I thought it was pretty cool. I really like the new books that they've got going. And obviously, like, the bottom half of him looks it's just a great upgrade, much cleaner. Looks awesome. So yeah, I guess they figured the books would be give it a good, distinct silhouette. That might be a bit of a pity to see the back cap go. Here's the Dreadlord, and he just looks way better. I think unlike the Gargoyle, the new wing design looks phenomenal. They look much more natural, much more part. Yeah, especially when he's standing there. The wings look kind of just stuck onto the old Dreadlord, where they actually look like they're part of the new Dreadlord. The animation is great. And especially attacking, they kind of flare out a bit, make him intimidating, where again, the old Dreadlord wings are just sort of stuck on. So that's a great model. This is the Crypt Lord. He looks absolutely phenomenal too. Okay, I think that one really shows the upgrade in the graphics. We have independently moving sort of chitinous plates on his back. And they've got a real shine to them, a real sheen. He actually looks like a real beetle. I love the new horn thing as well that he's got going at the front. Much more dramatic. So I think he looks absolutely fantastic. This might even be my favorite one so far. It's kind of, you know, it's not the flashiest of units, but that looked damn good. And that was like a clear upgrade. Buildings. Okay. So a Necropolis versus Necropolis. Looks pretty much the same. Obviously, we got a fancier skull at the front. Dripping poison, I guess. Which looks pretty cool. This is the tier 2, which I can't remember the name of. Which again, they've just enhanced the poison coming off of it. One thing else, I feel like the contrast on the buildings is pretty low. The buildings are a lot more sort of faded and blended in than the old buildings, which kind of stood out a bit more. Not too much to say about these. They look almost identical. I kind of like the crater on the ground on the new one. And the new death animation is pretty cool too. Again, we got the ziggurats, and again, these look almost the same. I do feel like I like the death animation on the new one. But I do feel like it feels pretty flat, the Spirit Tower. They got rid of the effect actually swirling around. I wonder if that's maybe just not added in yet. It's quite possible it is beta after all. That bugged out a little bit. Yeah, because they have a very strong effect here on the Nerubian Tower, which has a slowing effect on its attacks. I just feel like perhaps, I don't know, the buildings maybe don't feel as 3D as they should. They feel kind of 2D and painted on. But I guess that's going to be probably a general thing across all buildings. That's the altar. Which looks alright. This looks phenomenal, actually. Wow, this is the new crypt. That looks really good. I really like this redesign and having it floating, the top floating up, and so there's some greenish gas coming out the bottom. Looks awesome. The new lighting effects look super good here as well on the summoning portal. I think that looks really strong. Love the death animations where the different bits fall off. That's awesome. The new graveyard. Yeah, this is a fairly faithful reconstruction. It actually doesn't look that good. I feel like that one could use some work. That was kind of basic. It That could have been the old graveyard. Alright, we have the slaughterhouse here. This is a really nice upgrade, you know, with just the spinning wheel looks better. I think it will look really good when it's moving, though again, it felt kind of flat. Here we have the, oh, what's it called? It's not the altar. It's where you train all the spellcasters. Looking pretty nice, too. He's flying through these really fast. Okay, the boneyard looks great. You do have some little dragon eggs in there. Oh, I guess you had them in the old one as well, but you do have the little dragon eggs. They're cool. I like how the different obelisks fall over when it dies. This is a big upgrade, I think. The Haunted Gold Mine. Very different design, kind of floating above the gold mine with ethereal chains compared to the big sort of arms on the old one. It looks great. The shop, that's a big upgrade too. The shop looks way better. The old shop looked kind of like a toy shop there. That the new shop looked really damn good, actually. I was a big fan of that. We got special units. Okay, we got the burrowed units. The new burrow looks so much better. Looks really good. Real 3D effect to it. The new gargoyles. Again, I think this looks fine. The new skeleton. Oh, I like that a lot. The new skeleton looking really good. A lot more definition. I really like how he has one shoulder pad and it's got the team color on it as well, and the bracer. I think that looks great. I'm not sure about the skull cap. I'm not sure about the helmet. I kind of prefer the old bonehead. And I don't think he needs the team colored helmet with those additions to the arm. This is the caster skeleton. He looks pretty good too. Yeah, he looks nice. His skull isn't glowing, which again I think is maybe a bit of a bummer. Maybe it's perhaps they haven't implemented the effects, or maybe they're not going to. The old skeleton, his wand, his skull glowed. This guy looks really nice though. Really nice. He feels a bit taller and more human-like, I guess more proportioned than the old skeleton. Oh, the destroyer. Okay, this destroyer looks so much better. Wow, that looks incredible. The wings, oh, they look so good. I like the double weapons. I guess the old one had double weapons too. No, he just has, yeah, he does, but oh, the new one looks so much better in every way. I feel like the model on the left, the old destroyer, is one of the poorest models, like just in texture and polygons and stuff. The new one looks sick. It looks really good. Here we have the beetles spawned by the Crypt Lord. I don't know if this, again, it's really nice, like the old Crypt Lord, you know, he's got extra plates added on, lots of extra detail on this guy. Now, he's so small, I don't know if you'll actually see it that much, but he looks phenomenal. A real glow up for the beetle. It's such a small little unit, though. I don't know if you'll really notice it, but I'd certainly appreciate it here. Oh, this is a different, oh, wow. Okay, a different tier beetle. He looks amazing. Oh my god, that's a pimping beetle. I think that's way better. The old one was just a bit bigger and a bit of a darker color. This guy's just got new stuff on him. He looks incredible. Can I get that as like a mount in World of Warcraft? That looks super strong. I'm not sure how strong the beetles actually are. I can't remember now. But he certainly looks like he packs a punch. He's a fancy beetle. He looks really good. They did a great job on that. Just maybe, will it be noticed in game? I don't know. Well, there you go, guys. There you go. That was a look again on Lace.tv. Does great comparisons for World of Warcraft as well. I'm just giving my reactions, Asmongold style, to the new units. Let me know what you think. Do you like the new units? Which one looks the best? Which one looks the worst, do you think? Like, is there anything you'd like to see changed? Overall, my impressions are very positive. I think it looks pretty great. I think it looks pretty great. The new Crypt Fiend. I like this one a lot. This one's been pretty controversial, but I think it actually looks really good. I think it looks really nice. But yeah, there you go, guys. I will be back with some Warcraft 3 Reforged beta gameplay during the week, and I'll probably take a look at, I think he's got comparison videos. He's got tons of them, but I presume he has like overall ones for the other races as well. Human and Orc are in the game right now. Night Elf still to come, so we'll take a look at those as they come out. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.